Okay, so a bit earlier I put together a red 4 deck, so let's go put together the Corp and multi-deck for blue 4. I have to decide what it's going to be called. Let's do the same. First Army Corp. Create. Should we do an American flavor? Why not? Let's do an American flavor. It's got the full capability for support, and this needs to be relatively average, so what we're looking for is regulars. We're looking to avoid specialists. You got some red eyes, you got some stingers, Stinger C, Bradleys, light infantry on light rifleman in a Humvee, Bradley, Bradley. So they got that. We're avoiding artillery, as we say. Imbalances the game when we're doing this. So Vulcan, PVADs, Chaparral, Hawk, Patriot. Let's give them the air cover. Fair enough. They are going to have an ordinary tank set, so nothing spectacular. What is that? M8. They can have the M60s. Did they have an Abrams? Yeah, they got an early Abrams. What can we give them? Starship, there we go. Now, recon. Thus far we've given them gonna keep this wheeled, avoiding helicopters. They can have some Rangers. But nothing too fancy. And did I give him anything that's airliftable? I gave him Rangers, didn't I? That was in a chopper lift. So is it fair to leave him without any form of helo? Let's give him that. There we go. Basic wheeled stuff, nothing fancy. Now, what they're going to have for helo, they're only going to have the basic stuff. There, that's your lot, I'm afraid, my dear friends. You know what I've done here? This is not an unlimited deck. Scrap this. Quit. Discard. Made an error. Let's start again. New deck. NATO. Let's start again. No, I've done it again. Why have I done that again? That's stupid. New deck. Infinite units, create. Alright, let's do this. So, let's start this again. Right, so we gonna go all wheeled, basically. Not quite all wheeled. You get all the support decks. Now, what were we doing here? We were doing... They can have some. Okay, what did we do for support again? We did Vulcan PVADs. What did I say they could have? They could have... Well, we won't go 48, let's go... recon, so we gave them mainly wheeled recon, didn't we? I'll give them one helo recon they can use, and give them those, and those, and rangers. Okay, and vehicles, let's see, vehicles, we said that they could have what we got, 86 points. Okay, so you can have a little bird, you can have the DAP, that, and that. That's what you're gonna get. And air power, you're gonna have... We're gonna say that you can have something basic. Anti-radar missiles, fair enough. Harrier, Harrier, Harrier. What we got? 112, that's way too much. 107, 103. Alright, that's what you get. Infrared missiles, some ground attack, and anti-radar. So, that's your core. First Army Corps, quit, save. Now we're going to do NATO First Army. What's this going to be, folks? Special Forces Task Force. Let's do Task Force. This is going to be a limited deck, but let's see, who do we know has got excellent special forces? We know the Dutch have some good stuff. We know the Aussies have some good stuff. We know the Canadians have some good stuff. The Germans, French, right. Let's see what we got. Why do I have all the Red Force stuff? I don't want the Red Force stuff. Go away. Right. Right, this is where the rubber meets the road, folks. So, as ever, we're going to go with some mobile weaponry. It's not going to have much in terms of tanks because it's special forces, so let's keep it real with that. We'll give it some oddball tanks that can do something. What's this bad boy got? 90 mil. We'll keep it airliftable, light and airliftable where we can. I think that's our lot for tanks, really. Recon, it's going to be special forces based, folks. What it's going to be. SBS, Rangers, Pathfinders, New Zealand SAS, Navy SEALs, Okay, so what we're going to compound that with is we're going to choose a heli, What kind of vehicle can we go with here? It would be kind of... Got a helo, got another unit. Yep. And the vehicles, what do we have here? We'll take a striker, flak panzer, Raden. Okay, what we got for helos here? It's a special forces group, so it shouldn't be mega on helos. I would say, my guess would be, we'll give them some Cassiopeia, give them some link support, Gazelle, gunship, little bird. How about that? What about cobras? 10 cobras. So now let's go for the they're going to be able to take out enemy AA. We're looking for special abilities here, really, rather than anything different. Semi-active, Martels, kilogram bombs, rockets, hornets. What we got here? Bombs, hornets, Sala missiles, infrared, phantoms, wild weasel, special abilities, folks. That's what we're looking for. Something unusual, not standard. 500 kilogram bombs, infrared missiles, radar missiles. Where's the special abilities, folks? Sidewinders. Yes, we'll have one of those. What's this? Nighthawk. Yep, special abilities fits that nicely. Might come back to this one. Might come back to that one. Might come back to that one. Not looking for air to air, really. We're looking for something that's going to do a job for us here. Special abilities. bad boys got? Alpha Jet's got bombs. Corsair's got bombs. Bombs. Do we say the A10, or do we say we go with one of these bad boys here with the big bomb loads? What's this? 300 and... yeah, let's do that. Let's bring it in. Okay, so Special Forces, they got some mega air support. Let's create this new deck here. Shall I do strike? Let's do a strike. So we want something. We're going to do rolling here. Striker's always rolling. Saxon. We're going to disavow helos, I'm afraid. Not really going to get helos in this, apart from supply helos. So we want. Let's go American deck. We'll go. There we go. Supply capabilities. Strike. So these all need to be rollers. Not so much tracked. Don't want tracked, folks. Not what we're looking for. Not helos. Oh, what's that bad boy there? 20 mil. What's the MX wearing? 20 mil. Vab. Let's go with that. The Frenchies can be in. What's the Bison? Just a machine gun. What's the Grizzly then? Like something more than that, ideally. Okay, we get a Bison, Canadian Rifles. Again, they got 20 mil. Chasseurs. Humvee's not going to have much of kit. Grizzly, Bison. This is perhaps what we'll go with here. Stinger A, right, what we got is Stinger C. Bradley fighting vehicle. That's what we want. American Rifleman on the Bradleys. Stormer is not much of a vehicle really, but it is rolling. Wait, what's the Buffalo? What is the buffalo? Buffaloes. Gives us amphibious. I am Mr. G. I am. So, what was I saying? Oh yes, so let me get rid of some of these. Hang on. Royal Marines, right. So, got the Rifleman 90. So, Buffalo, that has a few more weapons and is amphibious. So, what does the Saracen offer? Machine gun, okay. Another amphibious vehicle. Okay, we'll go with that. Mr. G, how are you this evening?
Tired. Yourself?
Not too bad. I am recording, just so you know. I am building some base decks here. Seeing what I can do. At the moment, I'm creating a strike division, which is mainly rolling. So vehicles that are nominally wheeled. I don't mind tracked, but they're a bit slower, so wheeled is good. What else can I chuck in here that's wheeled, Mr. G? Do I have the Crotal? Put the Crotal. Crotal's an AA unit, isn't it? Yeah. Wolverine Bison. Yeah, why not? Does a wheeled strike division get tanks, George? I don't think they really do. Tanks are slow, so they only get light tanks. Tanks that can keep up.
I don't know what imagination you have of a T-55 or T-60s, but they are anything but slow.
Wow, I'm building a NATO deck, so there's no, no
Okay.
T-55s.
No, also, the Leopards are very, very fast.
Yeah, but we want to keep it within the strike idealism, George. So I'll have separate armored decks for that stuff, if that makes sense. These are designed to be a highly mobile, you might say modernized mobile infantry, perhaps, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea. I don't know whether the idea will work, but we will give it a go. We will see. I built a red deck earlier, which I've recorded, which is First Army, and it is a bit more potent than the other decks we put together. But whether it works or not, we will see at some point. Cougar. Okay, and helos. Now, what would a rolling strike division have for helos? My interpretation is it wouldn't have very much.
Why? Of course they need helos.
Yes, I know
You
they
need
helos.
double roll. You need, as a strike force, you need something to reckon.
Yeah.
And something to cover. But I wouldn't, as you say, put on a strike force, on a ground strike force, something you would like to do with helicopters in terms of attacking.
No, because the thing is, I will create an air commando or something for being more airborne than this. This is meant to be rolling. So, but you are right. What they would want is stuff like little birds.
Eyes to see. That's the most important thing for you as a strike force, to know where the enemy is.
Yeah, they can have some. They can have some low tier choppers around. And Canadian gunships, why not? Can be floating around. And the Cassiopeia, do I have that? Let's add that in. So they get quite a good. It's a low tier strike wing, but it's variable and can be used in different ways. And what kind of aircraft would they get? So I'm going to say that they would have the ability to call in some air support. So I'm going to say, where's the Germans? Germans not highlighted here. So they get to call in tornadoes. And let's say they also get Jaguars. And they can have a Harrier. How about that? GR7 Harrier. Ooh. 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 5 freaking points. Why? Why, oh why? Are you taking me there? Oh well, I'm staying within my group. Right, they get some tornadoes and Jaguars, George. That's what they get. Back. Quit. Save. So, I've got a new NATO Corps and 2 divisions so far. I need your ideas for a third. Let me see. NATO 1st Army Corps, NATO 1st Army Special Forces Task Force, NATO 1st Strike Division. We need armor, don't we? We need to create an armor deck which is going to be an absolute sledgehammer. So, let's go. Right, we're going to allow Americans, Brits. Who's got the best tanks, George? Germans, French, Turks, Canadians have something, and I think that's about it. So, armor only, warrior. Your HQ section can be a Pinzagao to keep it cheap. Your command tank
Look at that.
can be. What am I looking at, George? What am I looking at? NATO int. Standing force. Okay, hang on. Copy. It's not letting me copy.
I just try to find out what would I face.
What would you face
Mm-hmm.
if you were Redfall?
For instance.
Yeah, I don't know, George. I'll have to have a look at that a bit later. But let me go back here. So, what did I put in here? Some armor, light Pinzagao. Command stuff can be an Abrams, and it can be. Where is the freaking British tank? There it is, Chieftain. Do I want to put it in? No, we got an Abrams. Right, infantry. George, what type of infantry would you have with your armored division? You're gonna
Tracked.
You're gonna have tracked. You are gonna have tracked infantry, aren't you? Absolutely.
Yes.
Territorials. We're gonna go. They're not gonna be special forces. They're gonna be standard, right? Basically, that's gonna be the truth. They're gonna be standard soldiers in the main. Riflemen. They ain't gonna be paratroopers. Panzer Grenadiers, George?
For instance, if they are equipped with Marder's, yes.
Okay. Marder 2, Marder 1A3, Marder 2. Marder 2? George?
Yes, I would take
Preference?
Marder 2s.
Right. Let's see. We have some Milan boys. And we... Oh, we probably need a bit of AA.
They would have Gepards, for instance, or equivalent.
I'm just doing the infantry at the moment. Just got some guys with some...
They would. Let me check. Let me check. As far as I know, you would have 4 squads of normal infantry, and then you would have support in terms of either something heavy like mortars or AA or AT.
Yeah.
But AT depends when the Marders have Taus, for instance, or these Milans, you wouldn't need anti-tank guided.
Yeah. I am avoiding the wheel stuff, so they get Stormer, they can have tracked Rapier, they can have...
Rapid Forces Division, look at that.
Wait, why did that not pick up? Stormer, Chieftain... Right, so... Gepards, you were saying Gepards, weren't you? Rolands, George?
As well.
Rolands?
The Rolands would be the anti-air, while the Gepards would be the anti-helis, usually.
What is that? That is a mortar truck. We'll have one of those. Right, tanks, here we go. So, it's an armoured division. It gets the good stuff. It doesn't get the cast-me-offs. It can have some light tanks, but it's basically going to have the Abrams. The tasty Abrams, Mr. G. It's going to get some Leopards. It's going to get Leclercs. It's going to get Challengers.
You would for game purpose, you would always want to have really good stuff, but also decent and cheap stuff like 40 to 50 point tanks, and then I would staff it like 40 or 40 to 50, 60 to 80, 82.
This is where you see, we get into a discussion now about the core and the division. The core has the crappy cheap tanks. So why would you equip your elite armored division with the garbage? No, I'm serious. The core has the 50 point.
No, I was laughing at myself because I was carried away with reality.
Yeah. No. But my core question is to you: if we've got the core and the core have the basic regular stuff to fill the gap in, why would you then fill your elite armored division with that same stuff? You'd surely that's where you put the nice stuff. Unless I'm wrong, I could be wrong. You are right. When you're the commander, you do want some cheap fillers, but let's see what we can do anyway. We might be able to do fillers in another part of the army and leave in the heavy army the good stuff. So, I believe that...
It depends, really.
I believe that they would have a good air arm, George. Like, a punchy air arm in terms of being able to support that armor. So my gut feeling here is they would have some pretty potent air support to go with things. Let me see. We want tracked Bradleys. Yeah, you can have that, guys. You can have... Ferrets are cheap. We'll give you cheap ferrets, and we'll give you scorpions. And we'll even give you some longbows. There we go. You can have some longbows. Vehicles now. This is where it gets interesting. So the Canadian Chimera is a big, monstrous tank, isn't it? Yeah, you can have one of those. You can have Cougars, Flak Panzers, Strikers, Ardens. What is that? The Marder YTS-1. Yeah, don't like that. That's a wheeled vehicle. 8 missiles. 8 missiles. Combat. What the hell is the Raka Jagger Panzer? 14 M-Class missiles.
The Jagdpanzer isn't something you would usually find in a tank strike force, because that is a defensive thing. This is to bolster defensive and mobile anti-tank things, especially for.
Well, you always need to guard. You always need to guard your flanks.
Yes, but not a tank. Not a tank strike force. A tank strike force would be either there to block something or to go through, but they wouldn't take care of their flanks and things like that, because therefore they have the tanks and the mobile infantry.
Yeah.
That's why they're highly mobile. These anti-tank guided stuff is solely support, and that supports the, for instance, infantry division, or you can attach it to a strike force. But when the strike force, for instance, is filling the gap and afterwards attacking and plan and things like that.
Well,
Look, German capacity. Mali, German soldiers injured in smoke grenade explosion. Well, I'm so proud.
108 points, George.
German military laptop with classified data sold on eBay.
Nice. I need to reduce this down, Mr. G. I need to reduce this down a little bit. Under the recon, they got a lot of Hilo recon. I think I have to pare this down just a little bit. I gave them Tigers under Hilo, so let's bring that down. And
I wouldn't, for instance, give the strike force Tigers. They would usually get these Recon helicopters, nothing else. Yes, you can give them Tiger Recon helicopters.
Oh, not in my division. They don't, George.
Okay.
This is the absolute armored fist division. This one. It's only built for hulking stuff. Hulk smash. Yeah, the air support is designed that it comes in, does the job on any opposition armor as well. So unfortunately, I'm at 106 points. So I'm thinking that they don't have anything air power at all. They just have the Hilo strike, and I'm actually happy with that. So the commander might not be.
And
that's tough luck.
A strike force wouldn't get, and that I would always be willing to argue, they would get no direct air power, but they would, the command units who would deploy them would get something like that.
So NATO, let me see now. I've got my NATO First Army Corps, Special Force Task Force, First Strike, which is rolling. Where's my armor? Oh yeah, Army Armor Division. What do I need here? Airborne or para or commando, something like that, George. So, why don't I create NATO first. NATO First Army Airborne. Why don't we go for that? So we do American, British, French, Canadian, Australian. Any others? Dutch maybe? They don't get trucks. I've just decided. They get lots of helicopters instead. Right, infantry. Go to the bottom. You only get the airborne, folks. That's all you're going to get is the airborne. US Marines. Nope. Do we class the Legion Foreign Legion as airborne, George?
No.
Okay, you said it, you got it. Do we class the Canadian Highlanders as airborne?
As far as I know, no.
Okay. Do we allow the Gurkhas to be an airborne portion?
Are they used as airborne? As far as I know, not.
Okay. What about Delta?
They use helicopters to deploy very quickly and very strategically, but they wouldn't use helicopters in combat.
Correct. I'm chucking in
That's
Canadian,
why I thought
Canadian,
first of the Highlanders and things like that. They
Canadian
wouldn't.
airborne.
The French Legion is a little bit different because they handle it differently.
So airborne is going to be, George, airborne is strictly going to be a light division. So only stuff that can roll in by airlift.
Exactly.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot.
Well, depends, Darren. If you give them a properly different equipment, like they could fight tanks, fight choppers, or usually infantry, that's my impression of the game, can't fight anything apart of being concealed. If you go over open tops, artillery will fall, planes will come, so you usually hide.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I would give them things like anti-tank guided missiles, lots of.
No, they only get stuff that could be rolled in.
Yes.
On some form of airlift. I will allow.
No, these handheld AA and handheld anti-tank guided missiles. There are plenty of them.
Yeah.
And they usually come with helicopters.
I will let them have the stuff that could be rolled in up to like a Galaxy or something.
Look at the French forces and their infantry. They have plenty of helicopter liftable infantry.
Yep. So SBS, nope. These guys though will allow that. What the hell is that? 25mm cannons. Why not? No SBS. Rangers, nope. Pathfinders. Might allow Pathfinders, George. Norforce. What the hell is Norforce? They can't be parachutists now. We're not having that. KCT Dutch. Hussars. Green Jackets. Gazelle. Ooh. A lot of things could be in here. Commando paras. Cavalry units. Yeah, they got a lot of recon. Vehicles, let's have a look. Aslev. Jeep. Milan. '83 and helos. We're going to give them a good helo wing. I think we have to.
Yes.
I think we have to. I think it can be no other way, really. I'm going to seek to give them cheap but powerful air.
Well,
so numerous and tasty. Okay, what am I up to? 98. And what would they have for air support from planes, George? I'm thinking that they'd only get something like some Harriers or maybe they get to call it in from long range, so it needs to be like an aardvark or something like that.
oh God. Do you know the word Mascal?
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 Not really.
Mass casualty evacuation. Okay.
Actually, wouldn't they have close air support, George? I think that
Infantry.
airborne would have some close air support, and I'm thinking Harriers. I'll give them Harriers. That's what they can have. Don't know why, just a feeling. Now I've got 114 points, which is too much, so I've got to cut that. 108 points. What can go? Something's got to give, George. Something's got to give.
They don't have Italians in the game, don't they?
No.
Unfortunately.
Depends how you look at it, George.
Well, the Italian Air Force and the Italian Tank Force is probably not to miscalculate. They're pretty good.
Got to make a choice here. Let's drop that. 107 points. Gonna have to decide here, George. Sal missiles, electro. Anti-radar. Harrier GR3, rockets, infrared. That's the one. Boom. 103. Okay, that's it. Save. Back. Quit. Save. Okay, that's the Army. 1st Army Airborne Division saved. And let me look. 1st Army, I've got Airborne, Armoured Division, the Corps, Special Forces, Strike, Airborne. Did I do Special Forces? I think I did. Special Force Task Force, yeah. Oh well. Anyway, let's save that.